Browns sign Tyler Huntley. New QB battle heating up. Browns welcome Tyler Huntley. A new player joins the cornerback competition. In an intriguing development, the Cleveland Browns have decided to bolster their quarterback lineup by signing Tyler Huntley. This addition comes amidst an already intense competition featuring 4 quarterbacks: Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. According to ESPN, Huntley's signing adds a 5th contender to this crowded field. The decision to bring in Huntley appears to be a strategic response to a series of unfortunate injuries plaguing the team. Since July 26, Pickett has been unable to fully participate in practices due to a hamstring issue. Meanwhile, Gabriel faced limitations on Monday due to hamstring tightness, and Sanders was sidelined on Saturday with arm soreness. Although Sanders returned to practice on Monday, Flacco, at 40 years old, Huntley's return to the Browns is somewhat of a homecoming. The 27-year-old previously spent training camp with the team last year. Initially, he was one of the 4 quarterbacks retained on the Browns' 53-man roster, but was released shortly thereafter. Following his departure, Huntley joined the Baltimore Ravens practice squad before signing with the Miami Dolphins after Tua Tagovailoa suffered a concussion. During his time with Miami, he started 5 games, achieving a 2-3 record while accumulating 5 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. Notably, Huntley served as the backup to Lamar Jackson in Baltimore for 4 seasons, where he started 9 games and led the Ravens to 3 victories, throwing for 8 touchdowns, rushing for 3, and recording 7 interceptions. Cleveland's decision to sign Huntley seems to be a temporary measure, primarily aimed at ensuring they have enough quarterbacks available to share practice reps, especially with 2 players currently sidelined. The Browns are set to kick off their preseason on Friday against the Panthers, where Flacco, Sanders, and now Huntley are expected to take snaps, while Pickett and Gabriel continue to recover from their hamstring issues. Interestingly, the Browns now have a total of 6 quarterbacks on their roster. However, it's important to note that Deshaun Watson is anticipated to miss the entire season due to a re-injury of his Achilles during rehabilitation. But here's where it gets controversial. Is adding another quarterback a sign of desperation, or is it a smart move to ensure depth in a critical position? What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments. Cleveland Browns signed Tyler Huntley. What it means for the QB competition. Imagine a team with not 1, not 2, but 5 quarterbacks vying for a spot. Welcome to the Cleveland Browns quarterback conundrum. The latest addition to this crowded roster is Tyler Huntley, a 27-year-old quarterback who has just been signed by the Browns, adding depth to a position that's currently plagued by injuries. But here's where it gets interesting. The Browns are already holding a quarterback competition among 4 players: Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dillon Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. However, all but Flacco have recently been sidelined due to injuries, which raises the question, can the Browns afford to have so many quarterbacks on their roster, especially when some of them are struggling with injuries? And this is the part most people miss. The Browns are not just dealing with injuries, but also with the challenge of finding the right quarterback to lead their team to victory. As the team prepares for joint practices with the Carolina Panthers in Charlotte, North Carolina, ahead of their preseason opener on Friday, Coach Kevin Stefanski has his work cut out for him. The team is still working through its plans for joint practices and the preseason opener, which adds an extra layer of complexity to an already complicated situation. So, what does the future hold for the Browns quarterbacks? Will Tyler Huntley be the answer to their prayers, or will he be just another addition to a crowded roster? The fact that Huntley spent training camp with the Browns last year and was one of 4 quarterbacks kept on the initial 53-man roster, only to be released days later, adds a layer of intrigue to the story. And let's not forget Deshaun Watson, who is currently on the... But here's the controversy. Some might argue that the Browns are taking a risk by signing yet another quarterback, while others might see it as a necessary move to ensure the team's success. So, we have to ask, is having 5 quarterbacks on the roster a recipe for disaster or a clever strategy to stay ahead of the game? We want to hear from you. Do you think the Browns are making the right move by signing Tyler Huntley, or are they just adding to the chaos? Breaking. Browns signed former Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Huntley amid QB injuries to Pickett, Sanders, Gabriel. Imagine the Cleveland Browns quarterback room as a high-stakes game of musical chairs, where the music keeps stopping and the players keep getting injured. The Browns have just added another player to this chaotic mix, signing former Pro Bowl quarterback Tyler Huntley. This move comes as a response to the mounting injuries to their current quarterbacks, Kenny Pickett, Shedeur Sanders, and Dillon Gabriel. But here's where it gets controversial. The Browns have a history of making bold moves, and this one could either be a masterstroke or a risky gamble. Let's dive in and see what this means for the team. The Browns have signed Tyler Huntley, a 27-year-old quarterback who spent last training camp with the team but didn't make the final roster. Now, with Pickett, Gabriel, and Sanders all dealing with various injuries, Huntley is back to provide much-needed depth. Pickett missed 3 practices before returning in a limited capacity on Saturday. Sanders sat out team drills on Saturday due to arm soreness, but was back at practice on Monday. Gabriel, meanwhile, was a limited participant on Monday due to hamstring tightness. The only healthy quarterback on the roster is 40-year-old Joe Flacco, who was initially listed as the starter on the team's depth chart. Huntley, an undrafted rookie, has spent most of his NFL career with the Baltimore Ravens. During his 4 years in Baltimore, he made 10 starts, including 1 in the postseason while playing in relief of the injured Lamar Jackson. In 2022, Huntley was named to his lone Pro Bowl after the Ravens clinched a wild card playoff berth. His 5 other NFL starts came last year with the Miami Dolphins, where he completed 64.7% of his passes with 3 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. The Dolphins went 2-3 in those games. While Huntley is physically gifted, his career has been marked by mistakes that have often overshadowed his good plays. He has 10 career interceptions compared to 11 career touchdown passes and 13 fumbles. And this is the part most people miss. Huntley's performance can be inconsistent, which raises questions about his reliability in high-pressure situations. But the Browns are hoping that his experience and potential can provide the insurance they need at the quarterback position. Huntley joins the Browns just 4 days before their preseason opener against the Carolina Panthers. His performance in the coming weeks will determine whether he makes the team's 53-man roster or the practice squad. His presence could offer the Browns added insurance at the position, especially if they decide to trade one of their other quarterbacks before Week 1. So, what do you think? Is Tyler Huntley the right move for the Browns, or is this a risky gamble? Will his experience and potential outweigh his past inconsistencies? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's discuss.